I'm Cosmic Brian, your host. Man, it's the weekend, fellas and gals. Man, this is killer. Man, this week cruised by, thank you, Lord. Because it's always a grind out there in the old work week, if you know what I'm saying. But here we are, man. Another weekend, another cosmic vinyl video for all you cosmonauts. Oh, sorry, man. I'm in a mood. I am in a mood, man, because this is a Fallout Finds video. What? You didn't get it the first time? Let's do it again. Fallout Finds. So, for those of you who maybe haven't been following along for as long as some of the others, Fallout Finds is just a cosmic way of saying it's a Vinyl Finds video. But as with all things in the cosmic realm, we have to make it sound extraterrestrial, if you know what I'm saying. Hey, some of you have asked about this spot over here and the wire hanging down. It does look a bit janky, I will admit. I'm actually waiting on another tapestry to hang there, so it'll look a lot better. And also you may notice missing from here is the glass cover that was the front of the case, my stereo case, which is right here. Yeah, during the move, unfortunately, we had a little accident moving it in. Got it all the way here, and as soon as I was bringing it down the stairs, a little piece of the fake wood broke off, and I haven't been able to repair it, but I'll figure it out, man, hopefully, because I really like that, man, putting all the cool stickers on it. Anyway, so there are definitely improvements to be made around here, if you know what I'm saying. But you guys didn't want to come around here to hear me rap about how shitty my cosmic realm looks right now. So let's get on with the vinyl, shall we?
Hey, Big Chug!
Oh, did I hear somebody out there calling for a big chug? Hey, when somebody out there in the cosmos asked for a big chug, I am much happy to oblige. So let's get it on. This one's sponsored by the Mind Haze. This is a light IPA, the Mind Haze. Got a little bit of a citrusy flavor to it, but I'm digging it, man. And I've had a few of these, and so it's doing the trick. All right, let's get this going, man. Crack open your goodies, man, whatever they may be, and let's get this party started. Here we go, Vinyl Community YouTube.
Oh, yes, my good friend, of course.
Oh, so refreshing. All right, let's get on with the Far Out Finds video. This first album, I believe, is one that maybe the Perch sent me. In fact, I'm sure it is. And now, as subpar as this album might be, I don't want you to frown upon the band, because the band is legendary. But this is the TROGGS, the Trog tape. Or is it Vapes? Looks like it says the Trog Vapes, but it's the Trog tapes. Now, this is recorded in 1976, released on Private Stock Records. Yeah, we're digging out the private stock. But yeah, this is not the infamous Trog tapes where the band is at each other's throats going ballistic for about 12 minutes. It's not that bootleg. Maybe I should explain. Apparently the Troggs went in to do some recording and had done no rehearsing of the songs. So when they got into the studio, they all had their differences about how the songs should go down. And apparently they caught on recording the band just going apeshit crazy on each other. It got released on a bootleg, and you'd think it would have destroyed the band, right? Well, the band was already kind of on the down slope anyway. it actually kind of revitalized their career and drew attention to the band again. So, of course, they wanted to release their own Trog tapes to kind of, sorry about that, capitalize on their newfound infamy, so to speak. But yeah, this, they probably should have stuck with the bootleg, because this is, was critically, it was ripped to friggin' shreds, man. I mean, and I gotta tell you, it might not be as bad as the critics say, but it is a bit hollow. It's, if I had to describe it in one word, it'd be a little bit generic. And it also seems a little uninspired as well. It just kind of feels cobbled together, the songs, underproduced, underwhelming. But I don't think it warrants being totally shit upon, because there are some decent songs on this, and the guitar playing on this is pretty good. They just needed to move it out front in the mix a little bit. You do have your snotty, garage punk type vocals that Reg Presley was famous for, so you can't fault that. And it actually, towards the end of the album, it does start to pick up the pace a little bit. Too little, too late kind of scenario. But check out this cover, first of all. This guy, I mean, all the other guys have kind of adapted the 70s like look, you know, that kind of glammy look and long hair. This guy decided to stay in the old 60s garage with the shag do there. Looks like something you'd see like on the tape cover, the reels back in the day for the studio. But yeah, I would say to check this out. I mean, you can get it for cheap, but it definitely doesn't represent what the Troggs were and how legendary they were. But that's the Troggs tapes. Now, let's go from some subpar glam to some really killer glam rock. And that's sweet. Give us a wink. Friggin' A, man. This is great. Released in '75 on Capitol Records. Now, there was two versions of this album released. There was one on RCA, which was the European release. The one I'm holding here in my little mitts is the Capitol release. And the difference between the two releases is that the Capitol release is a total flip of the two sides. And then they also added the track Lady Starlight to the Capitol version here. But yeah, this is really cool, man. I love this, man. And of course, it's got the die cut cover here. And if I can get a hold of this, I'll show you how this friggin' thing works. But you can like make it wink. You can pull like different eyes, but there's the wink. I don't know. A total gimmick. And you gotta be careful because it has been torn and whatnot. It's got a lot of little like sayings like nudge, nudge, wink, wink, wink big, bigger, Kilroy winked here, wink off, winking will make you go blind. I'm winking off, I'm winking. No, I'm sorry, that was bad. But yeah, this is the band doing all their own songwriting, all their own production, kind of moving away from the Chin Chapman songwriting of the albums before. It's a harder rocking sound, which I totally dig. I mean, this thing opens with one of my favorite sweet tracks, which is Action. I mean, what a great jam that is, right? Killer guitars, swirling effects added. Andy Scott's playing is just fantastic. Brian Connolly's vocals are tip-top. I mean, I feel like he's on the top of his game. Steve Priest, Mick Tucker on bringing the friggin' rhythm sections, just rocking out, man. It's a killer album. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that gets Cosmic Brian moving around, man, strutting his stuff in the old cosmic realm, if you know what I'm saying. Jesus Christ. But yeah, man, this is great. I love the vocal, like layered vocals of Sweet, man. It just, when they hit that high register, it's just fantastic. There's a picture of the band right there, man. So killer. It even gets a little bit funky with a track that closes out side one called Healer. Great track, by the way. And then side two doesn't let up. It just keeps kicking face. Yeah, I've been digging Sweet for a long time, man. Ever since I was a little kid, I remember hearing the song Lil Willie on the AM, on my old little transistor radio on the AM Gold. God, what a great song. And then, of course, in junior high and high school, Sweet was a staple at the skating rink. You'd hear Fox on the Run, Love Is Like Oxygen. Great glam band, hard rock band. Sweet, you just can't go wrong. Now this next band, we're moving in a totally different direction here, people. This is HAWKWIND's Greasy Truckers Party. This is, I believe, maybe a record store release. I think maybe in like 2021. This thing is pretty easy to find, man. And it's usually at a pretty decent price too. I think maybe 20 bucks for this bad boy. Double live album. I mean, lots of tracks on this. This was actually like a festival that was recorded, I think back in like 72. There was bands like Man, HAWKWIND, I think Byzantium was part of it, Brinsley Schwartz, Magic Michael and Friends, Black Death and the Footmen. Yeah, this was crazy. And this particular show, I believe, was plagued by power outages and fire marshal intrusions. Old fire marshal, oh, hey, guys, we're gonna have to shut you down. Oh, that was a horrible imitation of Fire Marshal Bill. But nonetheless, great live stuff by HAWKWIND. If you guys have ever watched any of the live, like old school HAWKWIND videos, especially like Silver Machine, they have a gal, her name is Stacia, who does like a performance art dancing on stage while the band's playing. She's like a 6 foot tall Amazon, man. Usually performs topless with like iridescent like body paint. She looks good, and I think she adds like this total trippiness to their live show, as if it wasn't trippy enough already, man. But yeah, she's great, man. I'll put a link to the Silver Machine video in the description so you can check that out. Speaking of Silver Machine, I was slightly disappointed in the track with Silver Machine, as the vocals were totally buried. The instrumentation sounded great, but the vocals were just like almost non-existent, and they seemed like they didn't know when to sing, when to not. It was just kind of weird. But shit, who cares? Everybody at the show was probably totally mind blown. I would think that, for me, listening to friggin' HAWKWIND is probably the closest thing that I'll ever get to like going out into space. You know what I'm saying? Their music was like created to like take some sort of psychedelics and just sit there, freak out, and just take a journey, you know what I mean? Out into the galaxies and different universes and dimensions. That's HAWKWIND, man. Hard driving rock music with swirling, trippy, spacey, it's just great rock and roll, man. I love it. Very experimental. Almost seems like totally improvised to me. I love it. God, I wish I could have been there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, great stuff, man. Double live album. You can have it for pretty cheap too if you find it. Now this next record is probably the biggest surprise of all the albums that I'll show you here. This one was the most pleasant surprise. And this is an album called Black Spirit. Check out that great cover. Oh my God. This is released in '78 on a label called Brutkasten. Yeah, if it sounds German, it is. This was an Italian rock band that gigged mostly in Germany, so I guess you could call it like krautrock. It's listed as Italian progressive rock, which I gotta tell you, man, this leans way more into like hard and heavy hard rock, proto metal, post-psych kind of stuff right here, man. And that great cover art there, Jesus, look at that. And then you got like a back view there. But yeah, this total blind buy for me. I had no idea what this was gonna sound like. I just knew that it was from the '70s, and I looked at the cover, so I was like, shit, this has gotta be good, right? I mean, and check out the gatefold. Friggin' fantastic, man. There's pictures of the band there. But yeah, when I first listened to this, I thought the vocals kind of sounded like Zamrock a little bit. And speaking of vocals, the vocals are pretty minimal on this, actually. This is a lot of like heavy guitar jamming, commingled with like some Hammond organ. Oh man, it's just a great listen, really cool. And when they do sing, this guy right here, that's the lead singer. Yeah, that's him. Look at how he almost looks like a baby, but God, he can belt it out, man. I'm just kidding, by the way. That's not I mean, it could be the singer. Could be the singer's kid. I don't freaking know. But yeah, this was a pleasant surprise for sure, man. I found myself banging my head, thrashing about the cosmic realm, man, as only this type of music could make me do. But yeah, it's bluesy, hard rock, killer album. For the $22 I spent on it, this was a great buy, man. Check out Black Spirit. Ooh, would have been a great cover for my Halloween video. In the Shrey Mansion. All right, the last album, and definitely not the least. This album I actually seen 2 years ago in a local record store down here called Dead Wax, right? I didn't pick it up, although I kind of knew what it was. I think I streamed one song while I was standing there looking at it, and it must have been a song that didn't quite represent what the whole album was. So I didn't pick it up and I left it there. Well, and that's the Skid Row album. It's called Skid. Look at that great cover art, man. Just a fantastic cover art. There's the band there. Now, the thing that tipped me over the edge that made me decide to get this was I was scrolling through Instagram. And if you don't check out the vinyl community stuff on Instagram, you're really doing yourself a disservice. There's an account on Instagram called 70s Heavy Rock Fan. That guy posts some of the greatest hard rock video clips from like the late 60s and 70s, man. Just some obscure stuff. Man, I need to give big props to 70s Heavy Rock Fan. He also has a YouTube channel, which I'll put a link to down below. But yeah, he played a clip of Skid Row, and immediately I remembered that friggin' album that I seen at Dead Wax. 2 years later, I went to the shop. Still there, this same radio promotion copy in absolutely great condition. Vinyl end covers still there. You know, I have more stories where I've left shit behind and regretted it than I have of actually going back and finding. I mean, don't we all? But this is great, man. Killer mix of blues rock, hard rock, boogie rock, hard and heavy. Features guitar ace Gary Moore, who went on to play in like Thin Lizzy, and then he went and had a great solo career, released a lot of great albums. Yeah, he's just a virtuoso. And he was all of 17 years old when he rocked out on this freaking album, man. This is great. But the bassist, Bruce Shields, he destroys, man. The bass playing on this is just frantic and awesome, man. It's so great. This is a killer album. If you stream any tracks off of this, stream a song called Unco Up Showband Blues, which is the closing track on side 1, or For Those Who Do, which is the opening track on side 2. This is a great album, man. I got a killer deal on this at Dead Wax too, man. Just an amazing 70s hard rocker right here, man. Phenomenal. Now, I feel like I have to mention another certain 80s heavy metal rock band that shares the same name as Skid Row, and featuring one Sebastian Bach, or did feature Sebastian Bach on vocals. There's a little bit of a story. I think I seen it, Sebastian Bach in a video where he says that Skid Row actually bought the name of the band from Gary Moore that I talked about for $35,000, which has totally been debunked and disputed by band members of both bands. Bruce Shields actually says he still owns the rights to the name. Dave Snake Sabo says that never happened. That there was never any exchange of money, and that they just went and got a copyright on the name and no problems, right? So, yeah, there's no connection between this band and the heavy metal band Skid Row, besides the fact that they share the same band name. But yeah, fantastic album, man. The grand finale for this video, for sure. So I hope you guys dug this, man. I love doing Far Out Finds videos. I love digging around in the bins and finding killer rock and roll to share with the world. So help us do that by hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. Yeah, get on board the Starship Cosmonaut, man. We're gonna soar through space and YouTube. And also, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. We're starting to put videos out either Tuesday or Wednesday, always on Saturday, 2 videos a week. Also, if you like what you see here, man, give us the old thumbs up. We'd love it, man. It really helps us get out there to more folks out there in the old YouTube land. So appreciate you, everybody who comments, everybody who subs. I appreciate you so much, man. Love you guys, man. Stay cool, stay cosmic. It's only rock and roll, but we friggin' love it, man. We'll catch you next time, Tuesday or Wednesday. Tune in.